3 US troops have been killed and dozens more have been injured in a drone attack in Jordan, the first deadly strike on American forces in the region since the Israel-Gaza war broke out in October. The attack took place on a remote military base known as Tower 22 in the country's northeast, near the border with Syria. US President Joe Biden is blaming Iran-backed militant groups operating in Syria and Iraq and has vowed to hold those responsible to account. The incident further stokes tensions in the region.
US casualties was always seen as a red line. US deaths. In all of these attacks that we've seen on various US interests, US bases, minor injuries, people targeted who weren't actually US citizens. This is the tipping point. So 3 US soldiers' deaths is important. It's not necessarily a tipping point into uncontrolled escalation between the United States and Iran, but it's another very dangerous step.
In Gaza, people displaced by the war say they're disheartened by the decision by at least 9 countries, including Australia, to pause funding for the UN Refugee Agency for Palestinians. Israel alleges 12 of the organisation's staff in the territory were involved in the October 7th attack on southern Israel. Gazans forced into camps near Khan Yunis say the agency is their lifeline.
The situation we live in right now has support from all the world. The whole world is responsible for the situation that we are living in right now. It is the world that cuts the aid from children and women. We are not talking only food, we are also talking on cutting medicine. What is our fault as a Palestinian people? Our land has been occupied, our houses have been destroyed, and we have been through many wars, and this is the worst.
Palestinian officials are calling on the countries to reconsider the funding suspension, while the agency's former chief spokesman says the Australian government is penalising the most vulnerable caught up in the 3.5-month conflict.
The biggest question for the Australian government is why are you punishing for the sum of about $15 million, a lot of money, I know, and it's hugely appreciated. It does a huge amount of work on the ground. Why are you punishing the most desperate, the most needy people, possibly in the Middle East today, people who are underneath these £2,000 bombs?
As talks continue for a ceasefire, hundreds of Israeli protesters have blocked the delivery of humanitarian aid trucks into Gaza for a 3rd consecutive day. Families of the more than 100 hostages still held in the Strip are demanding their loved ones are released, arguing aid going into the territory only helps Hamas.
Giving Hamas food, water, and fuel is something that allows the war to continue. And if the world wants the suffering of the Gazans to end, we have to end this war quickly. And this just prolongs the war.